Metallicus and XPR could be the next crypto sleeping giant. And payment, the future is payment. We shall get into that and more today. Shout out to my guy, Indigo Saint. And as always, we shall begin with my guy, Indigo Saint. Let's get it. Boom. Let's get it. Indigo Saint in the building. Blackrue Investing. Let's go.
Who's this producer? Best believe it was Blackrue Investing. With your money, you ain't gotta be guessing. Profits is what we manifesting. So we binge on our Blackrue Investing. Best believe it was Blackrue Investing. Got course in this race, we ain't resting. We got stocks, we got crypto with a blessing. So thank God for that Blackrue Investing.
What is up, crypto warriors? What is up, Blackrue crew? That Indigo gets me hype every time. Coming through on a Sunday with you guys on a Sunday. Let's go ahead and see who's in the chat. Let's share the screen here. Boom, 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 boom. Awesome. What is up, Crypto Clayty? Been a while. Yo, 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 yo. Brandon YTE. Yo. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. So, as I was doing some research for ZBEC, shout out to ZBEC. Definitely check out the videos that we've done on the show on ZBEC and what ZBEC has going on for itself. Definitely check out ZBEC, ZBCN taking off. Definitely check out our first look video where we said ZBCN is like buying XCN at 0.001. Of course, it's almost at 0.002 now, but there we are. And the comparisons to ZBCN and SWIFT, definitely check those shows out. But as I was doing research for that, one of the things I came across here was Circle, okay? And of course, we know Circle is a partner of ZBCN. And of course, that Circle is also the world's quote unquote digital dollar with USDC. So what I came across was Circle's investors or Circle's partners. And what I saw on that Circle partner list was Metallicus. Okay. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what they tell us about Metallicus. Building the world's most customer-centric digital asset banking network using blockchain technology. Metallicus is the core developer of the Digital Banking Network, TBDN, an open source global blockchain banking protocol. Again, payment is the future. I know everybody has you focused on memes. They have you focused on AI. They have you focused on everything other than payment. But for me, payment is the future. Okay. On-ramp digital dollars to multiple supported networks such as Ethereum, Stellar, XPR network, which is a part of Metallicus's system, Metal L2, Optimism with MetalPay via debit and credit or deposit directly on chain with any TDBN supported institution. From individual users seeking financial empowerment to corporations and banks seeking seamless integration with digital assets, our diverse product suite caters to everyone's needs. Let's go. So already they're rubbing elbows with search has been deemed pretty much the US digital dollar. Okay. I'm kind of curious. You guys know how I like symbolism and things like that. Kind of curious what TDBN comes up to. TBDN. Okay. Okay. Nothing I can see here. But Metallicus, if you're curious, is a 7, 7, 11, 11. And I showed you guys how 7-Eleven comes up with other kind of big companies. Amazon, 7, 11. Virgin, which is Richard Branson, 7. Yeah, 7. So 7 plus 9 is 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. 7, 11, 11. It's just curious to how this always comes up, right? But TBD, TDBN, not so much. But here we have metal. That's the same. Coincidentally, the same numbers as Saturn, which we know from Stellar. Stellar's logo is Saturn. So there's a 6 here, 6 here, 3 here, 3 here, 6, 6, 3, 3. 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 reduces 1 plus 2 is 3. So very interesting there. Just a little symbolism. Wondering what Metallicus has in store for us. But so already these guys are rubbing elbows with Circle. Okay. And they're a Circle Alliance partner. Also, something that we learned, shout out to the patrons. We've been on Metal since this actual announcement in 2023. FedNow to integrate Metal blockchain for instant payment. The Federal Reserve's upcoming instant payment service, FedNow, is set to integrate with Metal blockchain, according to an announcement made by Metal blockchain team on May 11th. This integration will enable Metal users to instantly convert funds into stablecoins and vice versa, utilizing FedNow send and receive feature. Okay, and with this whole act here, they also became ISO 20022 compliant. So very, very cool here that they're working with FedNow. And remember, the Forbes article that we read on ZBEC mentioned Metal, which we're going to bring up right now. What's up, the real Derek Jackson? What's up, ISO J? What's up, E? What's up, Prospector? Let's continue here. So again, they keep mentioning the thing they're mentioning now is instant payments. Things they're mentioning now is streaming payments. So streaming and instant payments seem to be the terms that they're changing over to now. If you go down in this article that we read for ZBEC, they do mention Metal. FedNow early adopters did not include any projects like Tasad, Metal Blockchain, or Drop, which are listed in the provider showcase. Interesting. So they're already they were listed in the FedNow service provider showcase. So that's just something very, very interesting. But now what I wanted to do is get us something the CEO himself. We're going to play a couple clips from him here. Marshall Hayner. Now, he's kind of like the prototypical CEO I like to hear from. Of course, we've had Robert Mao on here, CEO of ArcBlock. Loved him. He was very direct. He's very straightforward. Marshall seems, and also very, very educated guy. Marshall seems like he's kind of in that vein. He also seems like one of those Lehman Bears to me, like the CEO of Hbar. He seems to be very lit up about technology, right? And he's going to tell us a little bit about himself in this video I'm going to play. Fair use, by the way, fair use on these videos. But he has connections to Stellar. This is Marshall's LinkedIn. So in this video, he's going to say Jed McCaleb, CEO of Stellar himself, told him, hey, why don't you just come over and work for us for a little while? And he did. So worked for them for 3 months. Then he went on to do some of his own things, which eventually led, including Dogecoin, right? Including Dogecoin, until he went and founded his own blockchain. Okay, so a very, very, very early investor in Bitcoin. And yeah, let's hear from him kind of in his own words in a couple videos. I'm going to stop sharing and share again just so I can ensure that we have that button pressed, because I don't know if we did or not. I think that I did, but I'm always wanting to make sure you guys got the best experience here. Okay, so let's take a look at this one first. And I definitely want to acknowledge the content creator here. Hopefully it doesn't play before we acknowledge him.
Leading on crypto.
Okay, let's go ahead and acknowledge the content creator here. As soon as it comes up, and we want to go to the okay, Real Vision presents. Okay, Real Vision presents. We want to start, I think, right around here, I believe. So let's go ahead and play.
There needs to be a banking service or like a PayPal for crypto, and that's kind of where I got this idea of starting to build a PayPal for crypto. So by 2013, I launched an app called QuickCoin, and it was an easy-to-use Bitcoin wallet. So at the time, I would set up family and friends with paper wallets and the old Skilderbach wallet, and for the most part, it was very like an IT thing, a nerdy kind of developer thing, hobbyist thing, just like BitTorrent was for me. And then I started to watch it grow. And by 2013, I came up with this idea, launch an app that makes it easy for people to use. So everybody has a Facebook account. I figured if I could secure people's Bitcoin with a Facebook account and they could send it to each other over Wallpost and Messenger, that might work. And it did. And in about 4 weeks, we got 1 million users. That blew up. And then I was approached by Jed McCaleb from Stellar and asked me if I would leave and join, if I would go and join Stellar to help them launch the Stellar project. I did in 2014. At the same time, end of 2013, as I was just kind of launching QuickCoin, this thing appeared called Dogecoin. And a lot of people asked me, what is this? Is it a joke? And it was. And I started researching that, and I reached out to the founder, and we became friends, and I became very active and involved in the Dogecoin space, because what was once a hobby for me had become kind of less of a hobby, where everyone stopped asking you, how does it work, and started asking you, what's the price going to be next week or next month? And so for us as developers and engineers and people building, we wanted to talk about all the cool, fun stuff, and Dogecoin was a place where we could go and have fun. And if anyone asked what the price of one Dogecoin is, we would say 1 Doge equals 1 Doge. So that was fun for me. And because of that and Stellar, I got really excited about this idea of building this kind of viral community, decentralized organization around this PayPal, and MetalPay was born. And the idea was, let's make the PayPal for crypto. I was on the right path because, now in 2022, not only does PayPal have crypto, but they've added it to Venmo. They're completely overhauling their stack to add blockchain and crypto, and it was the right move. So from 2016 to now, the company has grown pretty significantly. Started with myself and my co-founder, who was Glenn Marion, our CTO, who actually created the original Dogecoin wallet, Doge Wallet. And no, sorry, not Doge Wallet. That was the first wallet that actually ended up being a scam. The real wallet was dogechain.info. And back in the day, before Bitcoin, blockchain.com, it was actually called blockchain.info. So all the Bitcoiners would go to blockchain.info. And when Dogecoin appeared, we had our dogechain.info. And that was created by Glenn. So I met him while working with a company called block.io. We hit it off, and we started MetalPay in 2016. Flash forward to 2022, the vision was to make something that everybody could use. Everybody could download this app. Everybody could have this crypto experience. And beyond just Bitcoin or just buying and selling, what do these networks enable you to do? NFTs, smart contracts, financial transactions. It's not just speculating on crypto. So that was kind of the vision. And as we grow, we are pursuing a U.S. bank charter, a de novo bank charter. And we really took a different route than a lot of the other startups, because as I started to build this PayPal for crypto, I realized I have to do everything 10 times better than the traditional fintech walking into a Visa or a MasterCard or a bank partner. Because when I mention the word Bitcoin, I'm usually kicked out of the room. And I was in the very beginning. As I built a compliance program, as I built a team and brought in executives from Visa and MasterCard and from Bank of America and BNY Mellon and top financial institutions, we built the right programs and we really built a compliant operating system. And that has allowed us to survive and grow. And I think that...
So BNY Mellon, remember, those guys are connected to XRP, okay? So he's saying he realized he had to be compliant. He kind of had to pay tribute, if you know that term. He realized he had to get certain people, he had to be compliant in every sense of the way, right? Especially if you're entering into the payment space. Let's continue.
Now what's happening is really interesting. The crypto landscape is becoming regulated, and that is going to completely shift the way that we interact with these things. In one way, it's going to kind of eliminate some of the riskier things that you see out there, and definitely kill a lot of what I believe to be scams or just high yield investment, just the reiteration of the high yield investment program, but for crypto or something. I'd like to see that go away, and we're going to see all the top banks integrating crypto. This year alone, I think New York Dig's bringing on something like 200 banks. So this is becoming a mainstream thing.
So very interesting that he said we're going to see banks integrate crypto. It's almost like he knew, right? Because this is from 2022, okay? Very, very interesting. Now that we're here in 2025, we're literally kind of on the doorstep of banks integrating, truly integrating crypto. We have, crypto balls going on at the White House. We have the president launching his own meme coin. We have, again, beef bourguignon meetings with Trump and XRP. We have, different cryptocurrencies being compliant, different payment cryptos being compliant, like a Telcoin, right? Metal has done that as well in their own way, because you can see here from 2022, here in 2023 with that article I showed you, they're now a FedNow service provider, okay? So they've worked themselves to that compliance, to that US compliance. And you can actually get a Metal Pay wallet on your phone and buy Metal and buy XRP or XPR. So again, let's listen to Marshall Hayner again, but this is on his own website, fair use. Metallicus.
So who here?
Let's just skip a little forward a little bit. And play.
And he says, well, my bank doesn't like it. And I said, good news, because we're building a banking platform for you that interacts with cryptocurrency, that integrates it into your bank account, and essentially I don't know if we can get this video working here. It integrates into your bank account where you can essentially have your own account and routing number, or in this case, your SWIFT code, which is connected to your name. That is your own essentially
Your own SWIFT code, huh? SWIFT code.
Your own bank account, which is a regulated EU bank account. In the US, we have regulated US bank accounts, which are FDIC insured. In Europe, essentially the equivalent of that. And you have the interaction with over 70 different cryptocurrencies. One of the things that's really interesting is that we're in the very early stages of crypto.
Again, this is from 2022. So again, he's gone on from this point to be a FedNow service provider, and to be even a Circle partner. Okay, so XPR has gone on to do a lot of things, but I think this interview is, because some of the things he's going to say in this interview are all things that I think are very important for the cryptocurrency space and for the payment space itself. So let's listen.
So we don't really have much beyond just simple price exposure. Most people are looking at crypto as an investment, but it really is so much more than that. The potential for crypto and Web3 is to create decentralized communities and to essentially take from the web what we used to have was a kind of centralized control in what they call Web 2, which is where we're interacting with different platforms. Web 1 was read-only, Web 2 is interact, like social media and things like that. And Web 3 is the interaction where you start to become an owner. You start to become basically a director in a protocol. So in the future, when
So again, Web 3 is creating these kind of decentralized communities. You can say that, right? In one way, right? And shout out to the Telegram, right? We have our own little decentralized community here where, instead of taking the crypto world on alone, we're taking on the crypto world together in the Blackrue Investing community, right? This is completely free for now, but this would be an example of what Marshall's talking about there, right? And, people will have different decentralized communities like this. Maybe some of them, like maybe they create a crypto coin. I don't know. we talked about that a little bit in our little community here. But the point of it is, you can have your own decentralized communities that are connecting into these larger crypto banking communities. And it's very interesting what he's saying there. In a sense, this is what people talk about when they talk about meme coins, right? Is that you're almost creating your own quote unquote religion, so to speak. This is what that guy Murad was talking about. But again, when you get off into meme coins, I think you're getting off a little bit into the distraction and you're not focusing so much on the payment, right? Which we're going to talk about here after Marshall finished speaking. To me, these payment cryptos are the future, okay? And I've spoken on this before, and I think it just it definitely bodes some reiteration here, okay, today, this Sunday. And as always, if you have questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat over here. But it's really important that we understand that payment's the future. And let's let Marshall continue here. Let's let him continue.
When it comes to social media, when it comes to different types of economies, there are going to be built on blockchains. They're going to be.
So you mentioned social media, right? That all of this is so like juicy, and he didn't even talk for so long. Like think about X or Twitter, right? And how Elon kind of wants to make that into a WeChat. That's a whole community that could have, like, they already have the ability to send Bitcoin, by the way. They had that just before Elon bought it. So imagine them now having the ability to send Doge or Bitcoin or XRP or XLM. It opens up a whole new kind of banking culture in which now your decentralized community, be it a Twitter, be it a Telegram page like ours, be it something like a Facebook page or your Facebook community. Now, like chatting, sending like remittance payments or like, tips and all of that. It's all one thing. It's all one app. It's all everything, right? But let's continue.
To become basically a director in a protocol. So in the future, when it comes to social media, when it comes to different types of economies, there are going to be built on blockchains. They're going to be leveraging this technology to, oh, here we go. We're in here. We're going to be leveraging this technology to empower people to become a creator in that. So what's so interesting about that is that in the past, we kind of just relied on this centralized control. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, they tell us, what our reality is in social media, but in Web3, we get to have a big say in that. And MetalPay is basically the traditional bridge and gateway from your bank and your financial access to cryptocurrency. It's so much more than just buying and selling.
So the traditional banking to digital assets, and we have a few examples of that, which is why I say that payment is the future. SWIFT blockchain, Telcoin, XPR and Metallicus, right? AMP and Flexa, right? And the whole Gemini platform, okay? All of these are payment, all ZBEC, ZBCN, as far as payroll goes. All of these are laying the groundwork for this entirely new, quote unquote, web system, right? And you can say it could be new. It's utilizing like older technology in a different way. You can call it Web3, you can call it whatever you want, but this is this old fiat system going away and this new system coming aboard, right? And just like we talked about in another show, you should check out, where we focused on Telcoin here, corruption and fraud actually equal crypto adoption, in which they're saying, and shout out to our guy, Crypto Ronin, he's talking about this right now in the Telegram, where U.S. Marshals are saying they can't account for seized Bitcoins and all of this. Like maybe they were stolen, right? But if all of this spending is now put on the ledger, like Telcoin, which is what Telcoin was talking about, which is what Senator Mike Flood was talking about in this video. Definitely check out this video. Now we can track all the government spending, right? That's a reason to usher in cryptocurrency, because you can say, okay, well, now we can track the money. Instead of the money just being given and we don't necessarily know where it goes, now all government spending, or the government spending that we want to track, right? Because there'll always be black ops and stuff like that. The government spending we want to track is now put on the ledger, okay? So that bodes very well for different cryptocurrencies like Hedera, different cryptocurrencies like XRP, very different cryptocurrencies like Telcoin bodes very, 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 very well for them. So let's continue here.
So our mission is to empower global access to traditional banking and digital assets. We really feel that up until now, people have had to kind of string a bunch of different products together, whether it's a non-custodial wallet, custodial wallet. You almost have to become an IT expert to use crypto. But with MetalPay, it's very simple, and you don't have to worry about your bank account shutting you down or having some sort of issue, because we give you your own bank account. So like I said, we started in 2018. We're live in 45 states. We're on the journey to all 50 states, and it's been an incredible journey. We really came with this idea of creating a culture of compliance and regulation, because that was really missing in crypto. But at the same time, you want to have that great user interface, great user experience, and that is what MetalPay is all about. It is the bridge between the decentralized financial world and the centralized financial world. And when I got involved in crypto very early, over 10 years ago in 2009, I was one of the early nerds on Bitcoin Talk, if you remember me. I thought that, you know, the future really is going into cryptocurrency. We really are going to have this crypto lifestyle. And it's funny because I was the crazy guy screaming in 2010, 11, 2012, 2014. I'm talking about Dogecoin because Bitcoin got so focused on price and everything like that. I just wanted to have fun. And so enter our European MetalPay launch.
Bro,
as
I believe him. I really believe him when he says that. I think he's really one of these tech guys that just really wanted to have fun. He wanted to have fun with the tech, and people were focused on price. But honestly, I like to see this out of different CEOs because, you know, he's always going to push the envelope when it comes to tech. He's always going to be looking at, okay, how can I make this better for my users? How can I have more fun with tech? Like, you know how we've seen, like we played that interview with Lehman Baird. That was one of the things that I saw the most. Like, tech really lit this man up. I see some of the same things in Marshall here, which is why I'm very enthused about this project. You can see here, it seems like they've also expanded in Europe. Okay, so again, knowing what we know now, this is in 2022. We're in 2025. These guys are a partner of Circle. He's done the things he needed to do compliance-wise, rubbing elbows-wise, to get where he needed to be, to pay tribute, to be on the team, to be a guy who can transmit payments cross-border, right? I couldn't even imagine what are some of the things you would have to do to be one of those guys, but it seems like he's doing it because he's getting the approval, he's getting the compliance to do it. So, you know, that's very, 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 very exciting for this project. And let's continue here. As we can see with the whole FedNow instant payments and the Circle partnership and etc.
Today, we are live in 32 European countries, almost the entire EU, fully regulated. These are just a few of the countries we launched first.
Very, very, very nice. Germany, Spain, Italy, which this will cover kind of all of the quote unquote Holy Roman Empire. If you know your history and you know about the people kind of who inhabit this area, you would want to kind of cover this area. This would probably get you to what covering the people like the Swiss, like you know, Belgium, that they're there as well, Estonia. So it seems like he's definitely kind of paid tribute to the guys who are probably in charge of money in Switzerland and things like that by having MetalPay, Belgium, Italy, and getting to be like in almost all the EU countries as well as the US. It seems like he's done what he needed to do to make sure that he's allowed to operate there. Okay.
But we're really excited because this goes beyond just synthetic price exposure. You may ask, what's the difference between a MetalPay and a Revolut or a Square? Well, the difference is real crypto, mainnet crypto, interacting.
So he just mentioned some of Tim Draper's companies with Revolut right there, right? Let me go back a little bit here. Not that far back.
European MetalPay launch. As of today, we are live in 32 European countries, almost the entire EU, fully regulated. These are just a few of the countries we launched first, but we're really excited because this goes beyond just synthetic price exposure. You may ask, what's the difference between a MetalPay?
Also, nice touch by him to make the MetalPays have the colors of the flags there, the various different flags.
and a Revolut or a Square. Well, the difference is real crypto, mainnet crypto, interacting with DAOs, interacting with blockchains. We're not going to just give you some ability to have price exposure. We're going to let you participate in the DAO, participate in the blockchain, use the tokens for what they're meant to actually.
So it sounds like to me he's saying that, okay, my difference with mine that's different than a Revolut and things like that. You actually get to interact with the DAO. You actually get to be a part of the vote. Because most people really only care about price. They don't really care about being a part of the DAO and making the votes and all of that. But with MetalPay, they're saying, okay, we provide a way for you to do that, which is cool. Which is probably you may even be able to move custody of your crypto if that's the case, I would think. But with a Revolut and things like that, you may not. Don't quote me on that. This is just a speculation. Because I think if what he's saying is true, I would think that you would not be able to then take custody of your crypto, which on some platforms you can't. Like where is it? I think it's on Cash App. You can't. If you buy crypto on there, you can't like move it to a wallet. You can't take custody of it. I think the same thing might even be true for a Robinhood or something like that. Don't quote me on that, but let's continue.
Be used for beyond just that price exposure. We think that's really cool. So, features of the app, it's everything you'd expect in your traditional bank. You get your SWIFT code, you get your BIC. You essentially can have deposit your paycheck directly into the app and set up recurring buys for crypto. And we think it's a really great tool because a lot of people, hear about crypto and they pay a high fee to use some sort of on-ramp, but this is your digital bank account in crypto. And we are expanding globally, so essentially into the future, money remittance will start to become sort of like messages. In the past, we paid for long-distance phone calls, we paid for, data overage fees. When it comes to money transfer, we're still in that age. But with the advent of MetalPay and cryptocurrency, all of that is going to become a relic of the past. Making a payment will be like sending an email or sending a text message. And beyond that, your participation.
Now that's very interesting, and that gets into the whole WeChat type of deal where sending a message is almost the same as sending a payment. Like they're going to pretty much kind of combine those functions, right? But of course, if you're doing it on a thing like Twitter, of course, it's probably going to track you so it knows where your money's going and all of this other stuff. But, such is how that's going to be. But it's going to kind of combine those functionalities. And I think this is truly what I think Web3 is trying to get done. Is that like sending money and sending text message and data like this is all the same thing.
In the future of Web3 is going to be a part of this financial platform. Banks and crypto are going to merge together. I've been coming to this conference since 2015 in Las Vegas, and this is my first time at the Money 2020 Europe, and I've watched as this conference has just transformed from traditional fintech to cryptocurrency. When I walked in this floor today, I saw mostly crypto companies, the first thing that I saw when I walked in. So I really do believe that we are going to see the massive shift from the old banking system to the new banking system. But what's really important is that we innovate responsibly, that we don't do what they call in crypto, create degen strategies and things like that. We want to create real wealth, real value, and we don't want to create risky platforms. We want to give you access to DeFi and give you a voice in crypto and simultaneously allow you and empower you to make money.
And that's really cool what he's saying there. It's like basically like this is not some meme coin thing where you're like thinking you're gonna put $20 to get like 20 million or something like that. Allegedly. Thing where you can feel safe to put your cryptocurrency in and earn a pretty good interest rate. Anything more, like way more than what a bank give you probably. This is something that's I know it's truly exciting. It's truly exciting.
View crypto as not only the opportunity financially, but also as a creator when it comes to NFTs, when it comes to, like I mentioned, decentralized autonomous organizations. And you're going to start to see over the next 10 years the beginning of kind of the decentralization of fintech, where DeFi protocols, decentralized autonomous organizations, and different types of blockchains begin to disintermediate how we use our traditional financial services. Already, as you can see, with the advent of DeFi, the interest rates that you can get on crypto are far beyond anything you could get inside of the bank. So how do we provide that access to you in a regulated manner? And one of the things that was really interesting that we're doing at Metal that we saw was a lot of confusion around different blockchains, different transaction times when it came to settlement. And something that's also come up on the regulatory side is, how do we know as a crypto user you are who you say you are when you withdraw? So we have essentially created a decentralized identity system that connects with MetalPay through a blockchain that we've launched called Proton that gives you a digital identity, digital access, and removes gas fees, essentially allowing you to make a transaction with all of your popular mainnet cryptocurrencies with basically 0-second transaction time. And in the past, people have missed opportunities when it comes to NFTs or simply a trading opportunity because you're waiting an hour for.
Yeah, I love the zero gas fees, and I love the way to do the whole decentralized identity. And the way they do that is they basically kind of give you like a URL, and that URL kind of along with your KYC says that you are who you say you are. So very, very kind of nifty thing by them to do that. I think they were the first people to kind of do it. I don't know if they patented it, but I think Metal was like the first people to do it, and everybody's been doing it since. Like a couple of different people have been doing it since, like I think Apple does it now, like how, but it came from Metal. But let's continue.
For some Bitcoin to confirm, or maybe hours. But with MetalPay, we really want users to not withdraw anymore to 0x whatever crazy cryptic public address string, but instead at Marshall with a check mark. And so really the beginning of this our launch here in Europe is empowering Europeans to have the bank, not have to worry about your interaction with cryptocurrency, and to start to go beyond just buying and selling and start to become part of this Web3 movement. A lot of people will say, you know, and I've been in this space for a long time, that Web3 is just some buzzword or it's just something, but it's really not. It's so much more than that. It is the next internet. And if you become involved in this and you get cryptocurrency and you become involved in DeFi, you'll see right away how these dApps are changing the world. They will be reminiscent of your early or late 90s kind of internet apps where, oh, you know, I can't imagine anyone would ever order a pizza online, or this stupid bookshop online is nothing important or to look at. But I'm telling you, look at it closely, download the MetalPay app. It's time we stop working for money and money starts working for us. Thank you very much.
I think that was a very, very good presentation by him, and I think that was an awesome end to say the whole thing about this old little bookstore in the 90s, you know, that little app. I think he's talking to Amazon there. That was a pretty nice touch. But essentially, this kind of gets us into our second topic, which payment is the future. Before we start our second topic out here and look at some of the comments here. Excuse me, sorry about that, guys. What's up, Terrell 50? What's up, Max? What's going on, bro? Appreciate you coming through. What's up, Keyshawn? Pet Grave, what's up, Balaclava Man? What's up, Fast Willie Jackson? What's up, Blackwood in the house? Let's go. Ship Focus Digital, let's go. What's up, sis? Appreciate you coming through. What's up, Drake's Lens. What's up, Lord Zero Cool? What's up, Phantom B? What's up, people? Appreciate you coming through. So now getting into the second part of the program, which is payment is the future, right? And you guys know from all my videos here, I've done some really big research on Tim Draper, right? And this is really the thing to me that led me to, I always had this inkling that payment was the future. But then when I did research on that family and I realized like how literally kind of they controlled and created the petrodollar, right? As you can see here, this show, Swift blockchain, the Drapers, the Rockefellers, and the birth of the modern petrodollar, okay? It really let me see how they set up this entire system after World War II, right? They set up the entire money system, right? And then when I got into looking at all of Tim Draper's investments and all the different investments he has as far as cryptocurrency is concerned, and some of his like technology, it really made it clear to me that he's trying to control he or the people he work or the people that work under him or above him. They're trying to control where the flow of the money will go with this cryptocurrency, right? So if we look at all the different things he's involved in, and I think I have a thumbnail to that kind of relates to this. Okay, here it is here. Basically, USDC being a blockchain, a key to make a flow, right? To payments. Let me see if it'll let me. Oh, it's gonna play it. I don't want it to play it. I just want to look at the thumbnail. 1 second here. It's gonna play it, and I don't want it to play it. So let me see. I'll just back up. But anyways, if we look at some of the things that Draper's involved in, right? As far as like Coinbase goes, Gemini, he's all initial investor. Those Robinhood, Revolut, right? All exchanges, and these are all things that are going to control money flow. And of course, we know Coinbase does BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF. So, and then we look at Swift blockchain and all the different blockchains that Swift is able to be used with. Clearly, these guys are ready to convert this fiat thing over to blockchain. And these payment and these exchanges are going to be the key to that, right? And things like Metalpay are going to be the key to that. Things like Stellar are going to be the key to that. So here, bring it on back to Circle, right? The different types of payment options here. Metallicus being one of them. Moonwell, that's one of them. And if we go back to the front page here, I saw Alchemy Pay on its front page. We get to have an idea of all these different payment cryptos that have kind of paid their own tribute to be a part of what's happening here. Drop, we know that from Hbar, right? And that they're FedNow ready, right? It's another instance payment platform. Flexa, we know these guys are connected to Gemini, and with Flexa you can use Gemini and AMP. So all these different keys are coming in there. There's Seller. I think that's on Polkadot. Still haven't gotten the Alchemy Pay yet. Beefy. That's a DeFi platform. And here we go. I think we're at the front page now, and you'll see Alchemy Pay. We also see Allbridge, right? Allbridge, that's part of the Stellar platform. If I bring up Stellar, you'll see that Allbridge is a part of that. So all these different payment dilly doos, and we can see here that things like Stellar, things like XRP are definitely going to be pillars when it's concerned to this. Hbar as well. Okay, it's taking a while to kind of load up here. Okay. So here we are. Archer Stellar, that's Allbridge. So you can see the whole Taurus, I think this is called a Taurid, that shape that kind of looks like a hurricane or two different sixes, right? And you can see this all going into Stellar, and you can see different type of payment, like fiat payment platforms, one of which Draper's connected to with Wire. You can see Stripe, which Elon Musk and different people are connected to. All is going into Stellar, which you got that whole Saturn symbology there. And Saturn, we know Chronos, god of time, and we could get deep into that. Of course, we see Chain here as well, XCN, all the different cryptos that we've been talking about, along with people in places like BlackRock, Franklin Templeton, Grayscale, Deloitte. Shout out to at XX underscore 11 or 1133 underscore 1221 underscore 11 for this diagram. It does a great job of like kind of putting a picture to everything that we're talking about here. Coming back here, then we go from Circle over to BlackRock in its ecosystem with Ondo Finance, which Ondo you can kind of say is a certain bit of an extension of BlackRock. And you know that Ondo allows you to, it actually allows you to transfer. You can transfer from the Ondo has these like BlackRock bills in Buildell, that Buildell platform. You could through Ondo you can transfer that 24/7 to USDC, which we'll talk about more when we talk about Ondo Finance. But here you have even more kind of connections when you look at ZBEC, and you know that ZBEC is partnered with Solana and Lightspeed. I just went to a place today where they had Lightspeed scanners for your card, for your bank card. And I was like, oh, says Lightspeed on there. All right. So definitely these guys are connected with the waves now with fiat, and they're probably going to be connected to the way that money moves with crypto as well. So all it says to me is that payment is the future. And if we look at different things, different kind of connecting points, and we find things like XLR, which is like the only bridge on this whole Ondo system here. Things like ZBEC, which is the only kind of liquidity thing here that focuses on payment. And we find things like Coinbase and BlackRock connections and things like that. All of this points us to the old system, which we already know is slowly converting itself to the new system. And for me, that just makes me very, very, very bullish about my investments in cryptocurrency, because I know there's no hopium required. I know the old system, the BlackRocks and those type of people who we know are kind of connected to the, if you want to go to the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and stuff like that, we know they're connected to them. All the old school people that controlled old school money are now going to be a part of the conversion to this new school, as Marshall Hayner put it, Web3 type of money, right? So let's get to our comments here. Crypto Coyote, what's up, good people? Oh, once ISO J back at it again. What's up, Ruel? It's funny because I just bought Metal Blockchain tonight. That's cool, bro. That's cool. What up, Ru? The real Derek Jackson. Casper Network will shock people. Prospector, good morning. Good morning. Terrell, what's good? What's up, Maximus Crypto? Yeah, we'll definitely have to do an XPR show on Max's show. We're going to do more frequent collabs, guys, for sure. So be on the lookout for that. They'll probably be recorded, though, on the recorded videos. But be on the lookout, guys. Bruce covering XPR. Say what? Smash that like. Hi, E, Terrell, Jay, and everyone. What's going on? What's up, Nerd Up Inc. Marv? Long time watcher. Appreciate you, brother. Brandon YTE. Doe still a joke? I feel like it is. No, it's not still a joke. As a matter of fact, that term Doge, I think they used to call like high priests or like high like money changers. They were called Doges back in the day. Because I always wondered, like, why did they use Doge? What does that even mean? Is it because of the dog? But actually, that term is like high level banker in Venice from back in the day. So it has nothing to do with the dog. So no, I don't think Doge is a joke at all. And by the way, and I know people are actually big companies are actually taking custody of Doge. So don't sleep on Doge. I would, for me personally, not financial advice or anything, I have a little bit of Doge put up, and you can actually still mine Doge through Litecoin. I do not think it's a joke. It might have started as one, quote unquote, started as one, but I don't know. For them to name it that, Doge, excuse me, for people that know that was a high level, like Venice, like money maker, money changer, I think it might have always been a little bit more than a joke. But, that's just my own speculation. That's alleged for me. So I gotta say allegedly to protect myself, but that's my own speculation. Les Square, what's up? Good evening, Rue, New Jersey in the house. Hushain Petgrave, shalom. Shalom, brother. But Clava Man, hey Rue, what's your price prediction on XPR and or ZBCN? ZBCN conservatively 5 cents. But again, I think ZBCN is going to be one of those ones that's a investment you hold on to for a while. Because think about payroll, think about ADP. If they can get it connected to ADP, it's over. It's curtains. Talk about, excuse me, talk about diamond hands. ADP does payroll for the majority. I don't think every company I've worked for, and I'm in the software field, guys, almost all of them has used ADP for their payroll. So if ZBCN can get connected to ADP, and again, they're already connected with Ondo Finance and BlackRock and Lightspeed Ventures, and I just told you today I've used one of those ATM or whatever scanners that took my card. It was a Lightspeed. So clearly, they're connected with the right people to be a great long-term investment. I'm saying conservatively this bull run by November 22nd, 2025, 5 cents for ZBCN. For XPR, I'm probably going to take 5 cents too. XPR, let me see how much of the supply is out on XPR. So I know it's one of those payment cryptos and it's like 100 billion supply, but I don't know how much of it is circulating. Excuse me. Oh, I thought this was actually more supply than this. I thought it was 100 billion. Huh. Yeah, I thought it was 100 billion. Apparently, it's only 30 something billion. Interesting. Yeah, so that changes my tune a little bit. Maybe 30 cents, 33 cents. That's lower than I thought, but understand this is like a 2 coin ecosystem. And sorry guys, my sniffles are coming up for some reason right now. We got this coin here, Metal blockchain coin. Not too many of those, but that max supply, they're definitely saying something there. And then they also have the Metal DAO coin. So really, there are like 4 coins in this ecosystem. I don't know what they're going to do with all of them, but there's literally 4 coins. There's this one too. Very low supply there. And then there's the Loan coin, which I guess they don't list that here, but so there's literally like 4 coins in this whole ecosystem. But I guess one that people are focused on the most might be XPR and Metal. But I need to do kind of more research on how these coins exactly work as far as their tokenomics go in the system. So yeah. 1 second again, guys. Unstoppable domains. I'll have to take a look at that one day. Fastly Jackson, I've been buying XPR for some time now. What's up, Blackwood? Thanks for coming through, bro. Maxim from the Maximus crypto community and our community as well. Thank you, E, for dropping the Telegram. Appreciate it, brother. Shift Focus Digital. What's going on? Let's get it. Root of Truth. Jake Lins. What up, though? Rue and the chat. We are decentralized frontiers because of you. God bless. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much. My sis in the house. Hit that like button. Rue Crew. Let's go. Yeah, Lord Zero Cool, it is in the US right now. You can actually get the Metal Pay app. You have to do your KYC. I have the Metal Pay app, and you can buy Metal on there. You can also buy, I think, XPR on there. So it is in the US. It is in the US now. It wasn't for a bit, but now it is. Phantom Beat, I came through the door. I said it before. Hey, everybody. Hey, everyone. Don't worry, everyone, for we will host your Web3 assets for you. Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of that going on. There's a little bit of that going on for sure. But I also think doing it in a compliant way connected to a bank and bridging the old system. It's kind of quid pro quo kind of thing. Like, look, I saw back in the day that they didn't really have a good way to do this. I started a company to kind of help with doing this. Y'all actually, allegedly, it seemed to me, because like Metal, they had some pretty cool ideas. And I think people just started taking their ideas for real. I kind of took my ideas, cool, whatever the thing is. This is me talking as Metal. But yeah, we'll be down for the cause. We'll pay tribute, and just let me get on, and let my payment system be a payment system you use, and we'll work with you guys. Like, okay, Metal, all right, we got you. But yeah, you can use Metal Pay in the US. OMC, what's up? Been a while, bro. What's up, RB? I get a 404 error when I try and log in. If you, like me, had a Proton wallet before everything happened, you got to log in on the app, because that jacked me up too. I logged in on an app and I used my private key on the app. You got to download a wallet called, let me look at that wallet. Excuse me again. So sniffly. WebAuth, WEBAUTH. It's like a big old W. Looks like a backwards M. So they're the inversion there. And with WebAuth, if you have your private key for Proton, you can use it there. What's up, C. Allen? Appreciate you. What's up, Chloe Dior? Greetings. What's up, Phantom Beat? Will ZBEC be interoperable with XLM? Well, Stellar is one of their partners, and they did so much as to tell us Stellar was one of their partners with the recent post, right? So they're aware that we're doing videos on them. Like, you know what I mean? Like the community, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're aware that we're getting the word out about them, and they're taking full advantage. I know I tagged them in some of my videos. I don't know if other creators are, but they're aware that we're talking about them and that the word's getting out. But you can see here, they say Stellar is one of their partners. And if we go to X, you can see here the whole 6-pointed star. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have their logo here. This one's even more clear because it has the polygon in the middle. So they're making sure that you know who they're aligned with there, which, you know, there's no problem with that. There's no problem with that. I think that might be part of paying tribute, right? But here we go. And and by the way, XPR is an American crypto. Just want to let you know that they're an American crypto. Okay, here we go. Another partnership for ZBEC. As Peace protocol, which is $10,000 gold starred here. Your DeFi, I'm not sure how they're trying to do that. AFI? I don't know what they're trying to do there. I think they're trying to combine AI and DeFi and make it a new term or something. I don't know. We're excited to announce our partnership with ZBEC, a leader in decentralized payment streaming. There's that streaming again, payment streaming word instead of, it's just interesting. To merge AI-driven asset management with real-time financial flows in the next evolution of DeFi. Everybody's kind of getting onto this whole AI thing, you know. I know it sounds like facetious when I say it like that, but I think AI is like kind of already embedded into a lot of these systems already, but I think they're doing even more of a job to kind of point it out and promote it to us. But here recently, okay, ZBack reminded us of their Stellar partnership. So yes, they are partnered with Stellar, and they tell us by leveraging Stellar and Circles networks, we're building integrated rails to make receiving pay, saving, and sending stablecoins across borders more accessible to millions. And understand with this partnership, this now gets them access to, which they already have access to because they're partnered with Circle, but it gives them even a greater access to Circle, gives them access to Franklin Templeton, gives them access to Coinbase. This is just so huge in so many ways for ZBack, man. Like again, and they're partnered with XRP right there, man. I think I'm just so glad I found that ZBack, man. And they're partnered with Swift too, with the Nautilus chain, even though they sold that to Base, right? Again, through the whole buyer partnership that they have with Buyer Capital, they're connected to Coinbase, or not Coinbase, Facebook, because Facebook they're the guys behind. Wait, no, Coinbase is behind Base, but through Buyer, they're also connected to Facebook because Buyer did some work with Facebook. Excuse me. So many things to like with ZBack. A ton of things to like with these guys. And let me refresh that to see if that's the current price. Okay. What's your price prediction? Okay, we got that price prediction. ZBCN, bro. What's up, Tony S? What's up, Kevin Broughton? Loving my ZBCN. Phantom B, has anyone tried ZBack staking yet? I haven't tried it. Has anyone tried it? Let us know. How much ZBCN do you guys hold? I hold a lot. I hold a lot. I'm just not. I'm not gonna say publicly how much I hold, but I got a lot of it. I got a lot of it. Let's see here. Kevin Broughton, not yet. Brandon YTE. This is why I watch you, bro. Always have a higher perspective. Man, thank you for that. That's really honestly, this is what I like to hear. I'm really glad that I can bring that to you, brother. A couple million for Kevin Broughton, couple million for DJ Got Bands. And Phantom B, if you're over a mil, should be good, which means Phantom B's up here holding a ton. Kid Grable, peace. Popcorn Strike Smile, hit that like button so that the algorithm will share the information, this great information with others. Thanks, sis. Appreciate you. Balaclava Man, damn, Rue. That would be huge for ZBCN. 100%. 100%. 3023 CBO. Been Metal Ecosystem for 3 months now. Been buying Metal Ecosystem for 3 months now. Easily can get $1 million loan for $200 now. Hey, I don't know about all of that, but if you can, that's awesome. Okay, I was trying to Google account. Okay, got you. It's a U.S. company? Yes, it is a U.S. company. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, back. Absolute. Absolute. I like that name. Salute, Rue, and salute to the chat. 3023 CBO web auth. That's correct. This is the name of the wallet to get. Absolute. I believe XPR is being used by FedNow. Yeah, we went over that. We went over that. It is on FedNow. Marshall helped start XLM, and we went over that as well. Yep. So really awesome with you read that wrong, bro. You can buy loan protocol for $200 and get 1,000,000 coins. All right, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I kind of figured I might have read that wrong, but I kept going, bro. I just kept going. So thank you for clarifying that. Thank you for clarifying that. You can also stake it, by the way, which is pretty cool. So let's continue there. Balaclava man, if you could stack on one, what would you choose? Man, that's a tough decision. That's a tough decision. Honestly, when I come to decisions like that, I just say split it down the middle and choose both and, be diversified. That's me personally, though. 1 second, guys. So, not financial advice, but that's how I always kind of think of it. I have 1 billion ZBCN and have $400 to spend. I don't know if I should get both. Okay. Thanks, Rue. No problem. No problem. Yeah, so that's all we wanted to hit you guys with today. Be sure to put XPR in the comments, not in the chat, but in the comments. Borrowing that from my guy Maximus Crypto, because it always really works out very, very well to do that. And let's go ahead before we check out of here to show you guys Max's channel and Shook Focus's channel. Definitely go over to their channel and like and subscribe if you haven't already. Definitely like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Definitely check out Maximus Crypto over here at Maximus Crypto. XRP and XDC, the shift of the switch. Definitely check that out. Definitely go over here and check out Focus Digital. Latest video, XCN and ARB. Let's go. I got to check that out. So thank you guys all for coming. And I'll catch you guys later. I'm out.